Well, we're back on the Trans Can, man. We're going to take the Gold Man, put it in a tan van, take it to Spokane, give it to a man named Dan. Yeah, it's been off and on rainy today. It was actually beautiful when we left, but we got out into the mountains and, of course, pour down rain. So we're pretty wet, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. We've only been hiking around in the forest for about an hour or so, something like that. So we're going to carry on and see what else we can find. Well, we've hiked about a mile off the trail into the bush. We're heading on down a little ravine here, and perseverance always, most always, pays off. We've got clusters and clusters and clusters of Winter Chanterelles. Now this one is really quite big. I have not seen, you don't see these often this large. They're mostly going to be around that size, you know, like that. But wow, beautiful. Yeah, okay, well, into the basket it goes. This one's a little bit soggy, but that's okay, it'll be fine. And we've got some more little winters down here, a bunch in there, and we actually have a few more straight over there, right by the salal bushes there. So let's start gathering these beautiful little things. From a distance, when I looked at it, glanced at it, I thought it was a capnoides because it looked like it was coming out of the side of the log. It is not. It's coming out of the rotted stuff below it. Alright, and just happened to glance over top of the log. Not really sure what we've got here, but I have a stinking hunch. Well, this might be a more fruitful day than I thought it was going to be. This, I'm thinking, is going to be a little hedgehog, little umbilicatum. And sure enough, look at that. Beautiful. Love these guys. This is awesome. I did not expect to find any chanterelles. I was hoping to find a couple of hydenums, but here's one. Alright, let's carry on. Well, we're finding a few beautiful little winter chanterelles here. And I think we might have found an actual chanterelle that's not even all waterlogged and slimy. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Cantharellus formosus, did not expect to find that guy today. So you can kind of see the similarities here in their veiny gilly structure. And the Craterellus tubiformis was originally in the Cantharellus genus. No longer, because they're different. But yeah, both absolutely delicious. Okay, into the basket. Look at these little tiny little guys here. These look very much to me like the Phaeoclavulina. They're very, very dainty, and there are several different types. Some can bruise green and some don't. Yeah, I have a stinking hunch that this is one of the Phaeoclavulinas. Which one, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be staining green, but it does have some green hues to it, so yeah. But you can see that they've got these little coral tips. They're not club-like at the end. They're very, very dainty. Yeah, beautiful. Just one of the little corals on the forest floor. Oh, we've got some really quite bright white cat tongues here. These are the pseudohydenums, and here we go. Get this guy up a little bit. Yeah, these guys, look at these little sort of teeth that they've got there. These guys in the west here actually have a subspecies name, Pusillus. So it's Pseudohydenum gelatinosum pusillus. And one thing about the western guys is their little stipe is usually vertical, as opposed to the ones on the eastern side. They quite often are kind of more horizontal. And yes, these are edible, and one of the few things that you can eat that are raw in the fungal world. And but they have no flavor, but you can candy them. As a matter of fact, one of our friends there walks with moss. She actually takes some of her homemade jellies and waters them down a bit and candies them in that. So just amazing. And they can also get a bit gray. These ones are like stark white. Beautiful. But yeah, they're stipes. They do come straight up. I don't know if you can see, make that out or not, but they come straight up and then they go out. So Yeah, beautiful. Something I learned this year that I did not know, that the western ones have that vertical appearance to them. And once I find some on some logs, I will be able to give you a better example. And they can turn a bit gray too, and there are some that will be gray right off the bat. All right, we found a nice stick that has some little cat tongues on them here. And you can see, this is the way it was laying. These guys have a vertical stipe. Even their little pins have a lovely little vertical stipe on them. Yeah, and they'll just keep mowing down on these twigs and sticks and everything that they can out here. And they'll keep going for quite a long time too. They last very long. They're always going to have these beautiful teeth. Look at that. Very cool. Very jelly. And I actually forgot to mention about these beautiful cat tongues. So yes, we have the Pusillus in this area, but as of February 2025, they did a bunch of DNA sequencing on these guys, and guess what? Guess what? Yeah, there's another little species or subspecies out there, and they named it, at this point, PNW01. So, yeah. They just like to keep you guessing, man. And the DNA sequencing now is just going to be crazy, and there's going to be so many changes in all of the different genus and whatnot. So, but either way, just absolute beauties. Love the little cat tongues. Meow. Now coming down this nasty, nasty, nasty hill from up there. On our way down, what do we find? A couple more hedgehogs. Nice. Love these little hydenums. It's absolutely fabulous. You go, beautiful little guy there. Another little one right over here. Ta-da. Beautiful. Love these guys. I'm stoked. I thought I was going to get skunked out here. Yeah, as soon as I shut the camera off, I spotted more of them. Little guys down here. It's a really steep hill, so I'm very sorry. Trying to get in here, but these guys down here, they sure hide well. Hence the name hiding them. No, kidding. Beautiful. Another one there. There's another one right down here. Come on, it's all got pieces of stuff over top of it. Shrapnel. And a lot of times you're going to get confused by little leaves like that. They sure look like them when they're underneath all the undergrowth. But I think we got another one right here. Yep. Fabulous. Nice. Wow. And oh my goodness. Wow. Look at the size of these winter chanterelles. Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to put my basket down. Oh. These guys are beauties. Plus, we got another hedgehog sitting right here. Wow. Fabulous. Nice. These guys are quite big. They might be a bit waterlogged. Oh no, they're not bad. They're not bad. Not bad at all. Wow. Yeah, they're a beautiful size. Okay, we'll load these guys up here. And, oh, man, more of them. Look at these guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Sweet. My camera is so wet and so fogged up, I don't even know if it's going to work after this journey. But, there's another one here. Oh, yeah. Look at the size of the leg on that guy. Beautiful. And another one over here. Awesome. I'm going to leave those guys. They're kind of too far gone. Now, the question is, what else is up here? That's pretty awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what else is up here. More winter chanterelles is what's up here. Wow, holy snapper doodle. Nice. Well, like I said, I thought I was getting skunked today. And we're getting the opposite happening here. Sweet. Yeah, we're getting quite the basket of these guys. We'll spread them out once we get home and give you a better display. Oh man, there's more down here. Okay. Well, she's been getting pretty dark out here. But we have what I actually thought when I first glanced at it, I thought, oh, do we have some cordyceps? No. We actually have, by the looks of things, I'm not positive on this, these guys look like some earth tongues. Yeah, just vibrant colors. They stand right out and absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, so not positive on that. Not positive on the identification of these guys, but they look like earth tongues to me. So I decided to go just a little bit off the trail. And what do I find? Well, I find some beautiful hydenums. And we've got another one right here. These are quite a bit larger than the umbilicatums. These might very well be the Washingtonianums. Not very positive on that, but they are getting to be a good size. Now the Washingtonianums can get even bigger than that, like up to about 4 inches. But this one here, if it was actually flattened out, it would probably be a good just about 2.5, 3 inches. Yeah, wild. You really see how well developed these teeth are on these guys. Like they seem a little bit longer than all the umbilicatums that I found. Yeah, really wild. So we are cold and wet, and we're going to keep this brief. So we've got our Chanterelles formosus, our chanterelle. We've got our winter chanterelle, our Craterellus tubiformis. And we've got our little hedgehog here. We've got our Hydenum umbilicatum. Just awesome. These guys all have just very similar qualities, actually. They're quite amazing. The chanterelles are kind of the powerhouses of the polysaccharides and all that. Like the testing they've done on these guys, there's quite a lot of polysaccharides, and they found that they are very effective against cancer tumors and different types of cancers, I should say. Now, these guys all have like potassium, they all have magnesium, they all have iron, copper, and selenium. They're just amazing that way. They also, all three of them, have vitamin D. The lesser of all of them would be the winter chanterelle, because these guys are normally they like more of a canopied area most of the time, or at least when I find them, they're usually under a pretty deep canopy behind logs, like rotten logs and whatnot, and they don't get as much sun, whereas the hedgehogs and the golden pacifics, these guys get a little bit more sunshine, and they are loaded with vitamin D. Loaded with them, like 15% of your daily intake for these guys for like a cup of raw. Of course, you're going to cook them before you're going to eat them, of course. Beta-glucans. These guys are going to help with your heart health. They're going to help with your liver. They're going to help with your blood health, all of that. Just awesome. They've got different types of beta-glucans in them. And antioxidants, they've all got really strong antioxidant qualities because they've all got flavonoids in them. And they're also anti-inflammatory. And these hedgehogs are also, they found, antibacterial. Now the chanterelles have vitamin A, they've got vitamin C, they've got vitamin D, they've got vitamin E. They've also got vitamins B1 and 2 and also 6. These guys, the hedgehogs, have vitamin C, they have vitamin D, and they don't have as much of the vitamin A or the C, and these guys actually have the least. The winter chanterelles have like trace amounts of the vitamin A and vitamin C. However, the winter chanterelles have all the B complexes, so they've got 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and just they're loaded with those guys. And of course, they're all loaded with fiber, so that's going to be really promoting your gut health and all that kind of thing. So that's really good in that way. Another thing about the chanterelles, they also have beta-carotene in it, which will help with your nails and hair. And all of those minerals that I was talking about, they're iron, selenium, zinc, and copper, and all of the potassium and whatnot. Those are really, really good for your heart health. And also, they're really good for your integrity of your immune system. So they're going to really help you out in that way. Now, one thing that I found is, what's funny is both the chanterelles are actual immunoregulators, whereas the hedgehog is actually an immunobooster. So there's an awesome little difference in between those guys there. So in the end, these guys are just absolutely amazing for us. And funnily enough, we've got all three. Please don't step on these, baby girl. We got a little nose coming in there. All three of these are in my top 5 of my favorite flavored mushrooms. And they're just amazing. You can do so many different things with them. And little foot. And this may very well be the last time that we actually get out here, because the snow level's starting to come down the mountainside, unfortunately. All right, well, let's get these guys home so that we can, she's gonna actually sit on them. You silly girl. All right, before she squashes these, we gotta get these guys home so we can cook them up.